Hi, it's Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead, where today we're going to be making Cowboy Casserole. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please click the button down below. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much. Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. We are going to be using a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. And we are going to go ahead and spray it with some kind of non-stick oil. I'm using just olive oil. And now that I have sprayed that, we are going to set that aside. I'm now going to turn around the camera and show you up close how to make this delicious cowboy casserole. First thing we need to do is we need to go over to the stovetop, and I'm using a skillet that's kind of deep because we're going to be adding a whole bunch of stuff to this. Now, at first we need to put in 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I'm just using olive oil. I've got my heat on medium heat, and I'm going to add in 1 medium yellow onion, diced. We are going to go ahead and saute this onion until translucent. To this onion, we are going to add in 4 cloves of garlic minced. And I'm going to stir it, and we're going to cook it until it is fragrant. We need to be stirring constantly so that we don't burn our garlic. To this mixture, we're going to add in 1 pound of ground beef. Now, this is a little bit over a pound, so I'm just going to go ahead and add that in now. Try to break up your meat as much as possible. I've got this, I call it breaker upper. I bought it at the Dollar Tree. We are going to go ahead and cook our beef until no longer pink on medium heat. Now that the beef is all cooked, we need to go ahead and drain the fat. Now we're going to add the spices. We need to put in 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 1½ teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of salt, ½ teaspoon of black pepper, and then ½ teaspoon of brown sugar. I'll go ahead and put those in now. Kind of sprinkle it over our beef. We will go ahead and stir to combine this. Again, our heat's over medium heat. This beef mixture, we're going to add in a can of black beans. Now, we needed to drain them and we needed to rinse them. Now, I went ahead and just used like a sieve and put my beans in there so I could drain the liquid off and then rinse, with some water. So I've got them right here, ready to go into our mixture. I'll go ahead and stir that in. And now we'll need to add in 1 15-ounce can of pinto beans. Again, they need to be drained and rinsed. Put them right here. I'll go ahead and stir that in. Now we need to add in 1 can of diced tomatoes. They actually, the recipe called for fire roasted. I'm assuming it would be more of an intense flavor. My husband can't have it too hot, so I'm just using 1 canning jar of diced tomatoes with the juice, homegrown. I'm going to add that in. And then we need to add in 1 can of green chilies diced. And I'll put that in and then stir to combine. Again, heat's on medium heat. To this mixture, we need to add in ½ cup of sour cream. To this mixture, we need to add in 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Excuse me there. And we'll stir to combine. Now we will cook this for about 5 minutes until the liquid thickens. Now that it's been about 5 minutes and the liquid looks like it's thickened a little bit, I have turned off my burner. I'm going to remove it from the heat. And now we're going to go ahead and work on the cornbread muffin mixture. I forgot to add the 1 cup of frozen corn, thawed and drained. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in and stir. It should be okay. Need to take a large bowl, and in it I have 1 cup of cornmeal, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of granulated cane sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And I have whisked to combine. And now we will push that aside and get another bowl. In this bowl I have 1 cup of 2% milk and 2 eggs, and I have mixed it up. To it we are going to be adding in 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter melted. Now that I have the melted butter mixed into my milk mixture, we are going to take this and make a well in our dried ingredients in the center to pour the milk mixture in the center. I'll show you what I mean. Kind of like that. Now we need to go ahead and take our whisk and combine this together, but make sure that we don't overmix. And now we need to add in 1 cup of cheddar cheese. I'm just going to go ahead and fold it in gently. Now we're going to have to take that Cowboy Casserole here and put it into our 9 by 13 inch pan now. We need to go ahead and take our cornbread topping, and we need to spoon it on top of our Cowboy Casserole. Now that the cornbread is on top of the Cowboy Casserole, I put a cookie sheet underneath because it's awfully high and I'm afraid it's going to spill over. We need to put it in a 350-degree oven, and we need to bake it for 25 to 30 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the cornbread comes out dry. Then it will be done. The Cowboy Casserole is all done. I'll go ahead and cool it and let's see if my husband likes it. Here's the Cowboy Casserole up close. All right, my husband's going to go ahead and try this Cowboy Casserole.
Good.
Well, you heard my husband liked the Cowboy Casserole. He actually said for him it wasn't that spicy. Now again, for someone else it could be really spicy. Everybody has their different taste. Now this meal would be perfect, for your family because it's kind of budget friendly. If you can find hamburger cheap enough to make it, it makes quite a bit, for the dish for like a whole bunch of people. And it's not that expensive. Or you could just do it for a smaller family, and then you could have leftovers, and you could also freeze the leftovers as well. Now, I found the recipe actually 2 separate places. The base of the recipe I found on another site, and then I found the other one, which is the cornbread topping, and I put those 2 together. Because the one with the base, with the beans and stuff, the topping was tater tots. And I didn't want that because I wanted to stay more natural. So I found this other one that, like I said, had a homemade cornbread topping that I ended up putting both those recipes together to make this Cowboy Casserole. Well, if you like this video, please hit the like button down below. This was Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead. I hope you have a good day.